Good morning, students. Computer networks. Now, topics in this is a different networking devices. So we have already this modem, Ethernet card, RJ45 connector. Now, next one is repeater. So repeater, we know that when distance is large, then the signals are very weak. In order to give speed to the signals, there is a one device that is called a repeater. So usually repeater is required about 100 meter. It means if distance is 100 meter, up to 100 meter, no need to take any type of repeater. So if signal your distance increase 100 meter, then repeater is required. So repeater is required when distance is 100 meter or above. So in your paper, there are some questions like where repeater is required. So you will have to specify, mention where if the distance is above 100 meter, then repeater is required. Next is, there is a hub. With a hub and switch. These are central controlling device. In this, all the different computers, different nodes are connected with the help of RJ45 connector. So at the backside of your hub, there is a different ports, and the RJ45 connector is connected with that. Now switch and hub, basically same thing is there, but switch are more advanced because in switch there is a internal memory that is called your internal memory of your switch. And second one is switch will decide, it means it is active, it will decide where to send the data according to the IP address. Okay, so both are used in LAN, local area network, but switch is just like a getting the data and forward the data. Okay, it is it will broadcast the data. The limitation of hub is that data of two devices come at the same time, they will collide. It means if it is receiving the data from more than one device, in that is possibility that your data will be disturbed. But switch, I have already discussed, is a smart machine. It is for multiple computers or communication device. When data arrive to a switch, extract destination address from the data packet. So it find out from where data has been sent and to whom this data has been sent. Okay, so it will create a table of receiving IP address, and it contain the IP address of sending computer. Everything is saved. Then it forward the multiple packets at the same time from different routes. So a switch does not forward the signal which are noisy and corrupt. So it will stop the packet that is corrupt. Okay, it drops a packet and asks the sender to resend it again. It means it will. We know that our data is divided into packets. If any packet is missing or corrupt, in that case, the switch will get new copy of same data from sending computer. Next is, so Ethernet switches are, we know that when you are using broadband, there is even just like a Ethernet switches are common. But for a networking LAN, special type of switches are required. So any doubt in this, Vita? If you need any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Next one is router. So we have discussed here hub and switch. Next one is router. So router is a network device that can receive the data, analyze it, and transmit it to other network. So RAB hub and RAB switch, both of these are required in a same network. तो ये हम सेम नेटवर्क में यूज करते हैं, हम लैन में यूज करते हैं. बट वेन एवर यू आर कनेक्टिंग टू नेटवर्क्स, देन वी नीड राउटर. तो राउटर क्या करता है कि ये डाटा को रिसीव करता है, उसको एनालिसिस करता है, देन इट्स ट्रांसमिट इट टू अदर नेटवर्क. ए राउटर कनेक्ट ए लोकल नेटवर्क टू द इंटरनेट. ठीक है, तो जब भी आपने कोई लोकल नेटवर्क बना हुआ है एंड यू वांट टू कनेक्ट विद दिस with the internet, the router is required. And remember one thing, present times, which is that the router is inbuilt in the other hardware devices. Now next is uh, compared to hub and switch, a router has advanced capacity as it can analyze the data being carried over network, decide how alter how it is tagged, and send it another network of a different type. तो स्विच और हब ये प्रॉब्लम है कि स्विच एंड हब इज यूज्ड फॉर सेम नेटवर्क, बट router can send the data of a different type network. Different type means their protocol may be different, their topology may be different. ठीक है, एक हो सकता है स्टार टोपोलॉजी, दूसरा हो सकता है बस टोपोलॉजी. एक में हो सकता है टीसीपी आईपी हम यूज कर रहे हैं, दूसरे में हो सकता है कि हम यूडीपी यूज कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि यूडीपी इज ए प्रोटोकॉल वेयर डाटा इज सेंड बाय द sender. It broadcasts the data. Anybody can receive the data. Clear? But TCP/IP is a secure one. So in case of missing data, data can be repacked and resent. So a router can be wired or wireless. A wireless router can provide a Wi-Fi access to the smartphone and other devices. Usually a router are certain contains some parts to provide wired internet access. Okay. तो वायरलेस भी है और आपके पास वायर्ड, दोनों टाइप के आपके पास राउटर अवेलेबल. नेक्स्ट टर्म इज गेटवे. तो आपको पता है जो गेटवे होते हैं, मतलब वो आपके पास एक नेटवर्क को दूसरे एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के नेटवर्क को दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के नेटवर्क के साथ कनेक्ट करता है. इट मींस वी विल गेट ए बिग नेटवर्क बाय यूजिंग गेटवे. तो आपके पास जो राउटर होता है दैट इज इन द सेम organization. This means we are connecting with small networks in same organization. But if we want to connect two or more networks of different organization, gateway is required. तो आपके पास एक gateway between it provides the connectivity between organization network and outside world of internet. Gateway serve as a entry and exit point of network, as all coming in and going of a network must first pass through the gateway in such a order to use routing path. Besides routing, packet gateway also maintain information about the host network internal. ठीक है, तो ये पूरे के पूरे नेटवर्क की कहाँ से डाटा, कौन सा डाटा है, ठीक है, कहाँ पे ये रिसीव होगा. दिस टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इज कंटेन्ड बाय गेटवे. So this is example. There is a one network of one organization, another organization is there, and in between we are taking gateway. So it is an entry and exit point of a network. Clear? Next, yes, students, any doubt in this? Kshitij? Okay, better. Then next one is students, there is a one more term that is IP address. Every computer that is connected with the internet has a special address that is called IP address. तो IP address एक यूनिक एड्रेस है. जो भी कंप्यूटर आपके पास इंटरनेट के साथ कनेक्ट होगा या नेटवर्क के साथ कनेक्ट होगा, इट विल गेट ए स्पेशल एड्रेस. दैट एड्रेस इज कॉल्ड IP address. and IP address has it 4 parts. Clear? It is a 32-bit numbering address. तो इसमें कितने बिट्स का है? 32 बिट का, और इसके 4 पार्ट्स हैं. मींस आपके पास 8888 मींस टोटल हो गया आपके पास 32 बिट. और आपके पास ये जो नंबर है आपके पास ये 4 पार्ट्स हैं. सेपरेटर इज कॉल्ड इज हियर कॉलन और डॉट. ठीक है, तो आप डॉट भी यूज करते हैं. यहाँ पे इन्होंने कॉलन यूज किया हुआ है. यू विल यूज डॉट हियर. नाउ this IP address contain the information of a connecting device, its geographical location, clear, country, state, city, and areas. Okay, everything is saved in the shape of these numbers. Clear? So आपके पास जब भी आप कोई कनेक्टिविटी करते हो दो कंप्यूटर्स में, तो 2 things are required. One is MAC address, another one is IP address. So MAC address is IP address are of 2 types, static and dynamic. So whenever you are using internet, your IP addresses are dynamic. It means if you are using internet, you will receive one IP address. Later on, when you are disconnected from the internet, that IP address will be released and assigned to another person. But whenever you in any network, you are using in any network, in that case, IP addresses are fixed. Okay, that remains same. Take the example of the servers. The IP address of servers remains same. So that's why IP addresses are of 2 types. One is called dynamic, another is called static. And these numbers like 192, ठीक है, ये नंबर आपके पास जो आपके पास सीरीज है 192, ये आपके पास 0 से लेके आपके पास 255 तक जा सकती है. ठीक है, तो ये आपके पास ये इसकी रेंज है. Yes, students, any doubt in this? Bhumika, Manavia? Okay, beta. Now,
Yes,
next
sir.
is, any doubt in this, beta?
No, sir.
Okay, beta. Now, next is, there are some protocols and then there are some web services like www, hypertext markup language. Okay, so we are going to discuss that. Okay, students, internet. We know that when we connect 2 or more computers with each other, there is a network. But internet is a largest network. It is called global network because when we use internet, then the different computers from different cities are connected with each other. So that's why it is a biggest network. So internet stands for international network. So for using internet, we need the connection from internet service provider like Airtel, BSNL, Jio. Clear? तो आपके पास इंटरनेट कनेक्शन के लिए ये चीजें रिक्वायर्ड है. तो आपके पास इंटरनेट प्रोवाइडर्स डिफरेंट सर्विसेज लाइक इन इंटरनेट we can access web pages. It is called www. We can use file transfer protocol. We can use email. All of these are different services of internet, and www is a one of that service. So www stands for World Wide Web. So it is a series of web server that are connected with each other. पूरे वर्ल्ड में अलग अलग प्लेसेस के ऊपर वेब सर्वर्स हैं जो आपस में कनेक्टेड हैं. ओके, एंड these web services contain web pages. Okay, in web servers में क्या सेव है? Web pages बेटा. ठीक है. So whenever you are accessing, you are opening any website in your computer system, it means you are using www, World Wide Web. The concept of www was introduced by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, Tim Berners-Lee, a British computer scientist invented the www in 1990. Okay, so now in the www we use web pages. Web pages are created in HTML, hypertext markup language. So it is a language for creating web pages. In this, different commands are enclosed within angular brackets. Okay, तो बेस आपके पास HTML इसकी extension .html. Clear? So this is the basic things which you have already. This was in the topic of class 10. HTML, hypertext markup language. Then when you are using the www, you need URL. It is called universal, uniform or universal resource locator या identifiers. Clear? तो जो भी आपके पास फाइल वेब सर्वर में सेव होगी उसका एक अपना ही एड्रेस होता है. एक तो होता है उसका न्यूमेरिक एड्रेस, दैट इज कॉल्ड आईपी एड्रेस. अनदर इज कॉल्ड टेक्स्ट एड्रेस. ठीक है, टेक्स्ट एड्रेस इज कॉल्ड यूआरएल. क्लियर? तो आपके पास किसी भी रिसोर्स जो www में है, कोई वेब पेज है, कोई इमेज है, कोई आपके पास साउंड है, कोई वीडियो है जो सर्वर में कॉपी है, तो उसके दो एड्रेसेस होंगे. एक तो आईपी एड्रेस होगा और साथ साथ में उसके पास एक उसका टेक्स्ट एड्रेस होगा. और टेक्स्ट क्योंकि आईपी एड्रेस इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू रिमेंबर, दैट्स व्हाई टेक्स्ट address is required. It is called URL, uniform or universal resource locator identifier. URL for locator, but you can also write down identifier. So uniform resource identifier, this is the full form of URL. So here is one example. So in any URL, the main page, the main link, that is called domain name. Okay. For example, you are using here I'm typing one URL here. For example, here is www swamisantdas.com. Here swamisantdas.com is here domain name. Okay, so after that there is a suppose images are there, there is a images folder are there, then the file name is abc.html. so complete URL पर इसमें जो आपके पास है https. so here HTTP is a protocol. Okay, www stand for here is a www.swamisantdas.com is a domain name. Here www indicate it is a web server. Clear? It is a web server. Now after that there is a images is a folder, abc is a file. So complete is called URL. तो कई बार आप कहते हो absolute address, this is absolute address. But जब आप कहते हो relative, then you start from this one like images and abc.html like this. This is a relative address. Yes, here any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So different parts of your URL. These are number one, protocol. Okay, here HTTPS is a protocol. Then types of server. So here we use www means it is a web server. Okay, here Swami Sant Das. Here is a domain name. Okay, image is here a folder. You can use folder, subfolder. abc.html is a file. So these are the different types of different parts of URL. Now here is HTTP. It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is a set of rules which is used to retrieve linked web page. बेटा it is a requesting protocol. तो जब आप किसी भी वेबसाइट के साथ if you are using HTTP, it means you are requesting to the server about that particular web page. तो it is a requesting protocol. तो आपके पास ये आप यूज कर रहे हो रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए, किसको रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए? सर्वर को, सर्वर को किसी एक पर्टिकुलर सर्विस के रिगार्डिंग. तो HTTP stand for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is a set of rules which are used to retrieve the linked web pages across the web. It is more secure and advanced version is HTTPS. तो आपके पास HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol, but HTTPS means hypertext transfer protocol secure. These are used by the websites which contain the sensitive data like banking data or social media accounts. Okay, ऐसी वेबसाइट जहाँ पे सोशल मीडिया है या जिसकी सेंसिटिव डाटा है, आप HTTPS यूज करते हो. तो but remember one thing, there is a confusion regarding www and internet. Normally we are thinking that www means internet, but internet has a broad meaning. Okay, so but www has a very limited meaning. It is a narrow meaning. Okay, www is a part of internet. Clear? Then next is domain name system. Okay, students, when we fill IP address in any your searching engine or in your browser, we fill the in place of IP address we fill the URL, because URL are very common. It is easy to remember. It is easy to search. But we know that कि जो आपके पास सर्वर्स होते हैं उनके आईपी एड्रेस से हम उसका लोकेशन को फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. हम उनके यूआरएल से नहीं कर सकते. तो आपके पास डोमेन नेम सिस्टम एक ऐसा कंप्यूटर है, एक ऐसा सर्वर है जो आपके आईपी, आपके यूआरएल को आईपी एड्रेस में कन्वर्ट करता है और आईपी एड्रेस को यूआरएल में कन्वर्ट करता है. इट मींस जब आप किसी भी वेबसाइट के बारे में यूआरएल फिल करते हो, इट गो टू योर सर्वर और सर्वर सेंड दैट यूआरएल टू डीएनएस सर्वर, डोमेन नेम सिस्टम सर्वर. दैट डीएनएस सर्वर ट्रांसलेट the IP address, the URL into IP address and send that IP address to the server, and then that server get the data from particular server. ठीक है, वो उस particular server से data receive करता है. तो for example, here is URL is ncert.nic.in. इसका एक अपना IP address है. तो domain name system आपके पास contain the information regarding URL एंड आईपी एड्रेसेस. तो ये आपका एक सिस्टम है. ठीक है, तो जो सर्वर इस चीजों को मेंटेन करेगा उसे हम कहते हैं डोमेन नेम सिस्टम सर्वर. तो इसका काम ही क्या है? ट्रांसलेशन इनटू आईपी एड्रेस एंड आईपी एड्रेस इनटू यूआरएल. तो आपके पास ये देखो, देयर इज ए वन यूजर एचटीटीपी ब्राउजर. ठीक है, तो इन बिटवीन ये इट विल सेंड दी IP address, the URL, and that URL convert into IP address. So ये आप there is a whenever you are filling the URL, it automatically converted into IP address. But remember one thing: if you daily open the same web page again and again, these type of IP addresses are saved in the shape of cookies. So that's why a DNS server is not required. So this is the benefit of cookies. Now next is, so here we discussed domain name, URL, website. Okay students, what is website? A multimedia document in www, multimedia document in www is called website. Okay, and the collection of these websites are called, the collection is called, yes, it is called web page is a multimedia page, and we connect, when we connect these we get website. What is web server? A special software that is used to access web pages is called web browser. For example, Mozilla Firefox, there is the Internet Explorer. These are browsers. But browsers may be open source or freeware. तो हमारे पास जो Internet Explorer है, that is freeware. But Mozilla Firefox, it is open source. What is web hosting? Storing the website in server is called web hosting. तो जब भी आपने एक वेबसाइट बना ली, वो वेबसाइट आपके पास आपके कंप्यूटर में है, तो कोई भी उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर सकता. फॉर असेसिंग इट वी नीड स्टोरिंग दैट वेबसाइट इन वेब सर्वर. या तो आप अपने कंप्यूटर पे वेब सर्वर बना दो, और यू कैन गिव दैट फाइल टू एनी अदर कंपनी हु हैज एनी सर्वर. ठीक है, तो वो क्या करेगी, उस पर्टिकुलर वेबसाइट को सर्वर में सेव कर देगी और आपको एक यूआरएल प्रोवाइड कर देगी. व्हेन यू गेट द यूआरएल, it means your website is online now. So this is your introduction to web service. So we discussed www, then hypertext markup language, XML. Okay students, there is one word XML. So XML here stands for, so there are two things here, HTML and XML. Extensible markup language. So beta, this type of language is used for creating the scripting language. For example, HTML. HTML में जितने भी tags बने हैं वो सारे के सारे XML में बने. And more thing, when we are sharing the data from client to server or server to client, we are using XML. ठीक है, तो क्योंकि जब आपके पास आपको किसी भी सर्वर के साथ कनेक्ट होते हो, फॉर एग्जांपल डीबीएमएस सर्वर, तो इट इज डिफिकल्ट दैट वी ट्रांसफर द डीबीएमएस टेबल. फॉर एग्जांपल आप ओरेकल यूज करते हो या माईएसक्यूएल, उसके टेबल को भेजना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. तो एक्सएमएल एक ऐसा फॉर्मेट, टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेट है, जो आपकी फाइल को टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेट में भेजेगा फ्रॉम वन DBMS server to another DBMS server, and data will be very lightweighted. Clear? So this is called XML, stand for Extensible Markup Language. So we discussed here domain name, URL, website, web browser, web server, web hosting. We have already discussed networking devices, then topology. Now next is, there are last topic of your syllabus, that is there is a networking protocols. Clear? So here we have a number of protocols like HTTP, FTP, PPP, SMTP, TCP/IP, POP3, HTTPS, Telnet, VoIP. So we have already discussed HTTP. It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is a requesting protocol for accessing the linked link of a particular resource from internet, from server. So HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. Now we are going to discuss FTP. Okay students, FTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. ठीक है, TCP Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. HTML stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, but TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. So जो आपके पास TCP/IP है, इसके two parts हैं. One is called Transmission Control Protocol, another is called Internet Protocol. तो आपके पास जब भी आप डाटा सेंड करते हो from client to server or server to client, so your TCP/IP is working in both computers. Clear? In your computer system, also in the server. तो मैं यहाँ पे एक छोटी सी लेआउट बना रहा हूँ. So here is one computer that is a sender computer. Another computer is a receiver computer. So when we transfer the data, there is a one document. This is your document, your file. The TCP or of receiver, this is a receiver side. Okay, sorry, sender, and this is receiver. Okay, so when this sender want to send this file to the receiver, first it will take the file, break that file into small packets. Okay, small packets. Each packet contains the IP address of sender and receiver, then serial number and data itself. After that, this is the work of which one? Work of TCP of sender side. तो उसके बाद ये जो पैकेट्स हैं ये वन बाय वन सेंड होते हैं सेंडर टू रिसीवर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट रूट्स. ठीक है, सो ये जो जितने पैकेट्स हैं वन बाय वन, ठीक है, अलग अलग रूट से वो ट्रेवल करते हैं और क्लाइंट के कंप्यूटर में पहुंचते हैं. ठीक है, अब इन आई the IP in receiver side receive these packets, ठीक है, और reassemble the packets. But remember one thing, when these packets received in the receiver side, if confirmation message is sent to the sender, ये packet received. ठीक है, ऐसे पैकेट, ये पैकेट पहुंच गया, ठीक है, उसके बाद मैसेज आएगा, फिर ये पैकेट जाएगा, देन मैसेज इज देयर. ठीक है, तो जैसे ही आपके पास पैकेट रिसीव होगा, आपके पास मैसेज सेंडर कंप्यूटर के पास चला जाएगा. अगर मैसेज सेंडर कंप्यूटर के पास नहीं जाता तो वो पैकेट फिर से रीसेंड हो जाता है. तो रिसीवर साइड में जो आईपी है इन पैकेट्स को रिसीव करता है और टीसीपी उनको रीअसेंबल करता है एंड डिस्प्ले दैट डाटा इन रिसीवर कंप्यूटर्स. This is called TCP IP. Okay, students, any doubt in this? Ishmeet, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, students, in this chapter, now we will discuss only the protocol FTP, triple P, SMTP, then POP3, Telnet, and VoIP. Okay, students, now time is over. Monday we will complete this chapter.